Hey guys, Sak here from SAKITECH, and in today's video, we will be talking about 10 rock-solid reasons the Galaxy S23 Ultra destroys the iPhone 14 Pro Max. 3 of these features will be powerful camera features that the iPhone won't be able to match. 2 of them will be hardware and design features, and 5 of them will be powerful software features that the iPhone can only dream about. So let's dive in, discover all 10, and see why S23 Ultra demolishes the iPhone 14 Pro Max and why it simply brings more value to the user for the money spent. So let's start with number 1, a camera feature. Now, one amazing thing you can do with the camera on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is you can go up to 100 times hybrid zoom. So look at this. That's the ultra wide, then I can go to the regular wide, then I can go into 3 times telephoto optical zoom, and I can go up to 10 times optical zoom, then I can do 30 times full zoom. I'm going to show you guys samples of the photo. I'm going to take a bunch of photos here, I'm going to show you some samples here, but then I can go from 30 to 100 times optical zoom and take a photo of things that are far away and see them clearly. So now let me show you some samples, and I'm going to show you guys in comparison what the iPhone is only capable of doing. So this is the ultra wide, this is the standard wide. Now we are looking at 10 times, now we're looking at 30 times, and now we're looking at 100 times zoom. So now we are with the iPhone, and let's see what's happening here. So we have the ultra wide, as you can see. Then we have the regular wide camera right here. Then we can do 2 times optical, and even 3 times optical. But then if I want to go beyond that, it becomes hybrid, and I can do up to 15. And let me show you. Let me just zoom into this. Take a quick photo. Okay, and let me show you the quality difference between the zoom on the iPhone and on the Samsung. So as you can see, there is a night and day difference between the zoom qualities of the iPhone and the S23. The iPhone photo is barely legible, the Samsung is much sharper. And you can see I'm just comparing these at 15x zoom. Alright, so another fantastic feature that we have on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra that we don't have on the iPhone is when you go to the camera mode, you can tap on more here and you get a bunch of options. You have options like Pro and the Pro video mode, as you can see right here. So when I click on the Pro mode, if you are a photographer, a professional photographer, or an enthusiast photographer, you know what all this means. But if you are a regular person, you may not. However, the fact that this is available and you can use it is incredible. This is the professional photography mode that gives you full manual control of your camera, so you can do some incredible things with your camera. So if you look over here, we can control the ISO manually, we can control the shutter speed manually, we can control the exposure compensation manually, we can even go from manual to auto focus if that's what you want, or even multi-point focus, as you can see. Now these are some expensive features that are available in DSLR cameras, but you have it available right here. And then you can also change the white balance, and there's a whole other options you can change over here as well. So let me give you one quick example. Let's say I want to reduce the shutter speed here. Let's reduce the shutter speed to 6. Okay, everything else is in manual mode. I'm going to take a quick photo. So here's the photo I took. Look at the bottom left corner. You see how I'm able to get that nice blur effect on the water, and that's actually a style you can apply on a photo with DSLR cameras by using manual modes. Let me show you one more example. You can see what I'm talking about even more clearly. So back in the camera, we're in the Pro mode. I'm going to reduce the shutter speed to 1. All right, let's move this a little bit over here where the water is moving. Okay, and now I'm going to take a photo. Takes 1 second to take that photo. Here's that photo, and you can see now that water blur effect is even more artistic, and the only reason I'm able to get this effect is because I have the manual mode built in to my phone, and I'm able to tweak settings like the shutter speed all manually to produce desired effects. Alright, so next up I'm going to talk about a hardware feature. So if I go to my actual setting, which is known as wireless power sharing, basically what you can do is if you enable this feature, you can charge accessories on the back of your phone. So if you have Samsung Galaxy Buds, or if you have a Samsung Galaxy Watch, if the battery on these die, you can just flip your phone over and you can place the accessory back here, and it is going to charge that accessory, and you can see the lights on right here. That means it is in fact charging. And you can do that with any accessory. You can even charge another phone. You can charge an iPhone on the back of the actual Galaxy phone. You can see now it is charging the Galaxy Watch as well. Now, iPhone has the MagSafe feature, but again, it does not have this feature, which I think is much more useful. Now, the next thing you can do with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is you can record 8K video. So I can go over here. When I go to video mode, I can go to the video, I can tap on this, and then I can basically choose 8K video recording. That's going to give me the highest resolution. And then when I record a video, look at that, I'm recording a video. After I take an 8K video at 30 frames per second, I can go into that video, okay? I can play that video, and because it is an 8K video at the highest resolution, I can in fact extract high quality photos out of that video. I can just put the cursor where I want it to be, and I can tap this option, and that's going to extract this photo. So now I have a high quality photo that I was able to extract from a 8K video. These are incredible and useful features if you know what you're doing. All right, the next thing I want to talk about has to do with the display, the frontal design of these phones. Now you can see that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra has a hole cut out right here for the camera. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has a pill-shaped cutout that has a camera and the Face ID system. So both the camera and biometrics are in fact crammed into this pill, but on the Samsung you can see the actual fingerprint scanner is actually hiding under the display, okay? So to me, that is more technologically appealing. But that's not even what I want to talk about. What I want to really talk about is the shape of these two holes and how they affect the viewing experience when you are watching gorgeous movies on your phones. As you can see side by side, the S23 Ultra looks more modern, looks more clean, because the intrusion from the hole cutout is much more smaller than that large pill. Samsung is simply more immersive when it comes to this design element. Imagine if you were watching a movie on your high definition TV and there was a huge pill on the left or the right side of that screen getting in the way of your movie experience. The little hole is much more immersive. In this sense, the phone just looks more futuristic and more clean. Alright, so now we're going to move on and we are going to be talking about 5 powerful software features where the Samsung destroys the iPhone because the iPhone simply does not have those features for some reason. Alright, so number 6 has to do with multitasking. So we have one of the fastest chips in the industry on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but unfortunately you still cannot do multitasking. So I can go in here and I can launch single applications, no problem. They're fast, snappy, and smooth. But on the Samsung, I can easily task with 2 applications or even more at the same time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I pull this in, this is just my Apps Edge panel. I can grab one of these applications. I can put it to the top. Okay, that's going to give me split screen multitasking. At the bottom, I can choose another application that I want to share the screen with. So let's just do calendar. So now I'm able to do split screen multitasking. I can work in this screen right here, and I can also work in this screen simultaneously. Now on top of that, if I want to access another application on top of what's going on here, I can pull the Edge panels one more time. I can go to any application that I want, and let's just say I'm going to work with the gallery application. I can grab this guy and I can put it in the middle, and now what I get is I get a pop-up. So now I can actually go through my gallery, as you can see, and I can even minimize this application like this, put it to the side over here for accessing later, and continue working on these 2 applications. Windows-like capabilities, so I can switch these windows, as you can see, just like this, okay? I can even create what is known as an app pair. So if I tap on this button, I tap on the star. Now what's going to happen is I can add this and this app as a multitasking view onto my home screen or my Apps Edge panel. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Tap on this. It's going to be added to the home screen. I'm going to go back home, and you can see it is right here. So now anytime I want to access calendar or calculator, I simply click this, all right? And I get that workflow going on right away. So again, iPhone has one of the most powerful processors on the market, but it cannot do things like this. And here's just one more example to boost your productivity. So basically, let's say I'm watching an educational video on the top here in split screen mode. At the bottom, I can have a notes application and I can actually start taking notes as I am watching the video on the top. So on the one hand, you're taking notes. On the other hand, you're watching an educational video. These things are very useful, and let's not forget, again, you can pull this in and you can grab a calculator and do a quick calculation even while all that is happening in the background. That is just incredible. I can also minimize this, have it on the side, okay? Just showing you guys a bunch of examples so you get the point. And again, iPhone with its powerful processor still cannot do this. And I know they can do it. They're just delaying it so they can introduce it as a brand new feature 10 years from now. Unacceptable. Let's move on. Now let's move on and talk about customization. So iPhone has some level of customization. You can go to the settings and then go to the wallpaper, for example. And of course, you can add custom lock screens. Let me just show you a couple here, as you can see. Okay, and you can access them at will. You can, of course, press and hold on the screen, tap on edit here, then tap over here, and you can add a bunch of widgets. So Samsung can do all that stuff as well, but on top of that, there are some really unique customization options. Let me show you one example that has to do with the phone application. So I can go to my phone application. Let's say I pick up a contact here. Let's see if we have a test contact. This one right here. I'm going to tap on this button here, and I'm going to tap on edit. So basically what I can do is for any contact, on top of being able to pick a photo, I can actually go down here and I can pick a video call background from this option. If I click on this one, it allows me to pick a background for the actual call screen when somebody calls me. And what I can do is I can pick from options, or I can actually tap on plus and pull in any photo or video from the gallery, okay? So for example, here's a video I recorded with my phone. I can have this as a call background when somebody calls me for that particular contact. And like I said, you can do this for any contact. This is what it would look like. So let me have this phone call this phone. I'm going to show you how it looks like. So it's dialing it right now, and that's what it's going to look like when that number calls me on this phone. Powerful customization. Just one example. All right, the next thing has to do with a powerful tool only available on Samsung phones, and that is the S Pen that allows you to take realistic notes and also do additional crazy features. So let me show you the basics here. So I can bring up an Air Command menu. Okay, I can just click on create a note and I can start taking a note immediately. As you can see, it is precise, super clean, and super smooth. I can pick any pen that I want, even change the size of it and opacity. So let's make it a big size, or this pen right here in black, and I can change the colors as you can see from here, no problem. Okay, so that's highly customizable. I can even draw artwork with the precision of an artist. Another cool thing, let me show you. If I were to be on the lock screen, for example, I take the S Pen, I click the button, I tap here. It actually allows me to quickly take a note, as you can see, on the lock screen. If I'm on the go, this is very useful for taking quick notes without even activating my phone. Now let me go back in here, log in, and show you something else. This is something, again, that doesn't exist on the iPhones. So if I go to my advanced features under S Pen, I have a whole bunch of options for my S Pen, but the best ones are known as the Air Actions. Basically, this pen, the S Pen, is connected to my phone via Bluetooth. You can even see here the battery is 100% and you have a Bluetooth connection icon blinking here. So here's what you can do. If I go into Air Actions, it actually is a remote control that allows me to control my phone from a distance with the S Pen. So one example, I'm going to go to the gallery right now. Here's an album. I have some videos and some photos in here. So I can actually scroll through these guys by simply clicking the button on the S Pen. So I click the button, it goes to the next photo. If I double click, it goes back to the previous photo. So I'm using the S Pen as a remote control to control my phone from a distance, and this is just one single feature. Press, double tap, go back. Double tap, go back, as you can see. If I were to go back into the Air Command menu, you can see that you can do this with all these applications and even further customize things. For example, if I press and hold the pen button here, it can launch the camera. So let's do that right now. Press and hold. It just launched the camera, and I can actually press the button again to remotely take a photo. That is incredible. You can take a selfie photo. You can have your phone far away from you and maybe take a selfie photo of yourself and a group of friends together using the S Pen as a remote control. So all this while, the iPhone is just sitting here and Samsung is just doing all these things on top of everything the iPhone can do. Now we're going to talk about number 9. There is a built-in computer in this phone that I can wirelessly project onto a high-definition TV or to my computer or any monitor. And I can do it wirelessly or wired. In this example, I'm going to show you the wireless version. So basically what you do is you go to your settings, okay, and then of course we have a whole bunch of advanced features. And then here's Samsung DeX. That's the computer that's in this phone. It says get a full desktop interface. So I'm going to tap on turn on and look at what happens. As soon as I do that, it's going to say it found a TV. I'm going to tap on cancel for now. But it's going to find any TV that is wirelessly compatible. And basically these days, all TVs are smart TVs. So it can connect this basically to any TV. So now when I click on this guy and tap on start, take a look at what happens. It is connecting to the TV. The TVs, there are some changes. You can see Samsung DeX just popped up right there. Now here's the funny part. I can connect a keyboard and a mouse via Bluetooth to this guy, and I can start using that as a computer, or at the bottom corner, I can tap on this guy right here, and that is going to activate the trackpad. Now I can use the trackpad, and look at that. I have a little mouse or a pointer, and I can go over and I can access various areas, and this is all going to act like a computer. So it's not going to be like a phone. It is just giving me a desktop-like interface. As you can see, I can have multiple windows. I can just move these around as I please. And I'm doing that just by using this as a trackpad, but I can also connect a wireless keyboard and wireless mouse to get a full desktop experience. But it is projecting it right now. Again, you can do this wired, wirelessly to any PC, monitor, and even a computer. If you are doing light duty work, you don't even have to buy a separate computer. You can get it done here. You can use Word, Excel, all that stuff right there. There is nothing like this on the iPhone, nothing comparable. All right, the final thing I want to talk about is even deeper customization. So we're not talking about basic widgets or just lock screen modification. We're talking about some deeper customization. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I go into my downloaded wallpapers here that I can get mostly for free from the Galaxy Store, which are right here under downloaded, let me show you the capabilities that you have with the S23 Ultra as far as customizing your phone and making it yours is concerned. So I can have wallpapers of this caliber right on my lock screen, as you can see. So just take a look at how beautiful that is. And they keep adding hundreds and hundreds of these wallpapers to the Samsung Galaxy Wallpaper Store, which can be accessed by tapping themes over here. And you can see I can download wallpapers, I can download icons, I can download always on displays, deeper than what you can do on the iPhone. On the iPhone, things work in a very simple, consistent manner. On Samsung, you can get some amazing things done when it comes to customization. So again, here's a bunch of other wallpapers. Let me show you another example here that's really cool. So this one, for example, another video wallpaper I can have on the lock screen. If you're into tech, you might enjoy something like this on your lock screen. Makes it even more personal for your particular experience. Okay? And that's the problem with the iPhone. It does not have that kind of ability. Here's just one more example. There's so many examples to go through. That's another one right here. Look at that clock, by the way, that I can have on the lock screen. If I go back, let's show you a couple more. So here's another wallpaper that you can have on your lock screen. Alrighty. These are video wallpapers. And we have just so many that it is crazy. Let's see if I can find something like this. Let's see what this one looks like. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So this is not something you can have on the iPhone. And that sucks. And that's my point. You simply get more features for the money when you go with a Samsung phone as opposed to when you go with an iPhone. Let's look at one more. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. All right. So more bang for the buck. And on top of that, when it comes to actual phone stuff, they all do the same thing. But Samsung just brings more features to the table for individual level excitement. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below, let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day, alright?